You're watching Old and Broke. Before there was a constitution, before there was even law, there was trade. And the only rule that mattered was simple. Keep what you've earned in a form they can't steal while you sleep. Rule 1. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. Digital promises are just IOUs with better marketing. If your wealth lives on someone else's server, it's theirs until it isn't. Rule 2. Define your use case before you define your stack. Is this wealth for survival, for legacy, for a quick flip? Your answer decides the metal, the form, and the risk. Guess wrong, and your stack is just shiny clutter. Rule 3. Paper promises burn. Metal survives the fire. Every empire has tried to replace gold and silver with paper or digits. Every empire failed. The paper turns to ash. The metal outlives the empire. Rule 4. Premiums are tuition. Pay them only when the lesson's worth it. High premiums are like overpriced tuition. Sometimes the knowledge or rarity is worth it. Sometimes you're just paying to be the sucker in the room. Rule 5. The market doesn't care about your feelings. Stack anyway. Silver doesn't rise because you need a win. Gold doesn't care you have bills to pay. Price is noise, ounces are the music. But wasn't money always this rigged? They built it this way, so the money would melt while they counted theirs. The Fed printed the trap, Congress locked the door. Wall Street sold you the brochure. If you can't drop it on your foot and curse in pain, it's not really yours. Paper promises are like tribbles. They multiply until they eat your lunch. Rule number 1 through 5 is your oxygen mask. Scene 2, that's how you stop breathing counterfeit air in the first place. Stacking isn't just about what you buy, it's about how you buy it, when you buy it, and what you walk away from without regret. Rule 6, never chase a falling knife, unless it's made of silver. Markets bleed. Let them stack in the quiet moments, not the panic. Silver's worst day is just a sale with better lighting. Rule 7, buy with purpose, not impulse. If you're stacking because your neighbor did, you're not stacking, you're following. Purpose stacks build wealth. Impulse stacks build regret piles. Rule 8, always know the melt value before you pay the seller. A coin story can be beautiful, but melt value is the truth. Don't pay for fairy tales unless you're willing to live in one. Rule 9, stack in forms you can move without announcing it to the whole quadrant. A gold kilo bar might look impressive until you try moving it quietly. Smaller pieces are more liquid, more flexible, and less likely to make you a target. Rule 10, your exit plan is part of your entry price. If you don't know how you'll sell it, store it, or pass it on, you don't own it. You're babysitting it for the next guy. But isn't it better to wait for the perfect price? That's what the market makers want you to believe. So you wait while they accumulate. Perfect prices are a bedtime story for broke traders. If you don't know your way out, you were never in. Impulse buys are like holodeck romances. They feel real until you see the bill. Rules 6 through 10 keep you from stacking mistakes. Scene 3, that's where we talk about defending your stack like it's your last oxygen tank on a dying starship. The first 2 scenes taught you how to acquire, but acquisition means nothing if you can't hold what's yours. In Ferengi law, in human history, the weak vault is the dead vault. Rule 11. Your vault is your real bank. Banks hold paper. Vaults hold freedom. Don't outsource your sovereignty to people who see your deposits as their liquidity. Rule 12. If it's not insured by your own paranoia, it's not secure. Locks rust, keys get lost, vault locations leak. Plan for the failure, not the fantasy. Rule 13. Diversify location, not just metal. 3 safe spots beat 1 fortress. Fire, flood, and theft don't care about your all-in-one storage dream. Rule 14. Loose lips sink ships and vaults. The fewer people who know about your stack, the longer you'll have it. Bragging rights are worth less than melt value. Rule 15. A stack you can't access in a crisis isn't a stack. If it takes paperwork, office hours, or a banker's approval to touch it, it's theirs, not yours. But isn't it safer in a bank's safe deposit box? Safer for them. The moment the system locks up, bail-ins, asset freezes, temporary closures, your gold becomes their collateral. If you can't get to it when the lights go out, it's not yours. Telling people where you store your metals is like handing a Ferengi your bar tab and your PIN number. Rules 11 through 15 keep your stack yours. Scene 4 will cover how to trade like a Ferengi without looking like you're wearing the ears. Stacking isn't hoarding, it's positioning. And when the moment comes to move your metals, the trade should be a win before the first coin changes hands. Rule 16, never sell metal for paper without a plan for the paper. If you're trading into cash, know exactly what it's for and make sure it's worth the swap. Rule 17, when premiums are your profit, you're in the right market. Buying low and selling when scarcity spikes isn't luck. It's reading the room like a Ferengi reads a mark. Rule 18, know your exit before you enter. Whether it's barter, a direct trade, or a sell-off, the when and how should be set before you even buy. Rule 19, silver is your foot soldier, gold is your general. Trade silver for small moves, gold for life-changing ones. Don't waste a general on a skirmish. Rule 20, a bad deal done fast is still a bad deal. Patience is profit. If the numbers don't work, walk away, even if you've been chasing it for years. But what if I miss the perfect sale? There's always another peak. Missing one deal won't sink you. Selling too early for the wrong reason will. A rush trade is just panic with paperwork. Never play cards with a Ferengi. They'll sell you the deck halfway through the hand. Rules 16 through 20 make you a trader, not a target. Scene 5, we'll talk about how to read markets like a Ferengi fortune teller and know when the prophecy is garbage. Markets are part math, part theater. The math will keep you honest. The theater will keep you broke. Rule 21, ignore predictions without a timestamp. A forecast without when is just a bedtime story for bag holders. Rule 22, volume speaks louder than price. A spike without buyers is just a glitch. A dip without sellers is just a test. Watch the hands, not the lips. Rule 23, a manipulated market is still a market. Stop whining about COMEX games. Learn the patterns, ride the ripples, and take their chips when they overplay. Rule 24, never believe the first panic headline. If the story's screaming at you, someone's trying to move your hand before you think. Rule 25, charts remember even when you forget. History doesn't repeat, it leaves fingerprints. Find them before they find you. How do I tell the difference between real news and a setup? If it's urgent and vague, it's a setup. Real moves come with math, dates, and receipts. The market never lies. It just changes the subject. If your trusted analyst doesn't own metal, they're just selling subscriptions. Rules 21 through 25 keep you from getting played by the news cycle. Scene 6, that's where we turn manipulation into your leverage. The market isn't fair? Good. Fair games don't let you win big without permission. Rule 26, use their panic to set your table. When everyone runs for the exit, you grab the silverware, literally. Rule 27, never try to fight the algorithm. Feed it scraps instead. Big players move on patterns. Give them small wins so they don't notice you building your real stack. Rule 28, your best trade will always feel wrong in the moment. If it's comfortable, it's crowded. Crowded trades pay like crowded lifeboats. Rule 29, hype is the exhaust of a dying move. When it's all over the news, it's already over in the market. Rule 30, treat market makers like weather. You don't control them, you prepare for them, ride them, and get out before the lightning hits. But if the game is rigged, isn't playing just losing slower? Only if you play on their terms. Change the table, change the odds. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu, unless you brought your own table. Market manipulation is like rain. You can curse it or you can plant in it. Rules 26 through 30 make you the ghost in their casino. Scene 7, that's where we take your winnings and make them untouchable. It's not enough to win the trade. You have to make sure no one, not the market, not the bank, not even your own bad habits, can claw it back. Rule 31. Vaults before victories. Your stack is only as safe as the first lock someone can't pick. Rule 32. Separate your treasure from your temptation. If you can touch it too easily, you'll spend it too quickly. Rule 33. Privacy isn't paranoia. It's profit insurance. If fewer people know, fewer people can take. Rule 34. Paper trails are roadmaps for thieves. Some wear suits, some wear ski masks. Both follow the same trail. Rule 35. Your stack's first line of defense is you knowing exactly where it is, how it's stored, and how fast you can move it. If you can't answer that in 10 seconds, you've already lost it. But if it's locked up, how can I use it when I need it? A fortress isn't a prison, it's a shield. You keep the gate closed until it's time to ride out. The harder it is to steal, the harder it is to waste. A safe without a plan is just a heavy end table. Rules 31 through 35 build your walls. Scene 8, that's where we make sure you've got more than one castle. 1 vault is security, 2 is insurance, 3 is freedom. Because if all your treasure breathes the same air, 1 bad wind can wipe it out. Rule 36, never stack in one sector. Markets collapse, vaults get raided, borders close. Keep assets in more than one time zone, even if it's just the next town over. Rule 37, redundancy beats regret. The copy you don't make is the one you'll wish you had. Rule 38, assets in motion are harder to steal. Not trading, relocating. Sometimes your stack's best defense is simply being somewhere else before trouble arrives. Rule 39, blend your holdings. Gold for stability, silver for liquidity. A small, fast stash for emergencies. The rest locked in deep storage. Rule 40, if you can't reach it in an emergency, it's not an asset, it's decor. Make sure at least one part of your stack is within arm's reach at all times. But isn't it safer to keep it all in one secure location? It's safer for you until that one location isn't safe anymore. The Ferengi call it risk concentration. Here we call it rookie stacking. 2 vaults is a backup, 3 is a strategy. If all your gold's in one place, congratulations. You've just built the galaxy's most attractive single point of failure. Rules 36 through 40 give you multiple castles. Scene 9, that's when we start weaponizing them. A stack is wealth, but in the right hands, it's also leverage, the kind they can't dilute with a printer. Rule 41, collateral is power. When the banks need something they can trust, they'll take your gold before they take each other's word. Rule 42, never pledge what you can't walk away from. Leverage only works if you control the exit. Rule 43, use value without losing ownership. Lend against your metal if you must, but never sell it unless the trade makes you stronger. Rule 44, paper pays for patience. Turn short-term paper profits from stocks, ETFs, even crypto, into long-term metal. That's how you alchemize noise into signal. Rule 45, your stack's job is to get bigger, not busier. If your gold is making money, great, but its first mission is to stay gold. But won't I miss out if my stack just sits there? You don't pay rent to own your home. Don't pay opportunity cost to own your sovereignty. Your gold isn't lazy. It's on permanent strike against inflation. If your stack's always working, it's not stacking, it's wage slaving. Rules 41 through 45 teach you how to weaponize your stack without selling it. In Scene 10, we close the ledger and leave a warning the galaxy won't forget. Every stacker learns this truth. The final rules aren't about profit, they're about survival. Rule 46, never outgrow your vault. The moment you have more wealth than you can secure, you've made yourself a target. Rule 47, the exit is worth more than the entry. Anyone can buy. Few can sell without losing their shirt or their nerve. Rule 48, measure wealth in weight, not digits. Digits lie, weight doesn't. Rule 49, the last ounce is for your last day. Never let your stack hit zero. Your heirs deserve something that isn't printed. Rule 50. The real profit is control. Control over your time, your choices, and your exit. That's the yield no market can quote. But when do you stop stacking? When the lies stop printing, which is to say, never. The galaxy runs on rules. Yours just happen to be made of metal. If you're stacking until they bury you, at least make sure the coffin's lined with silver. The Ferengi had 285 rules of acquisition. We've got 50 for gold and silver. Learn them, live them, and you'll trade in something far rarer than latinum: freedom. You're watching Old and Broke. We don't predict the future, we just pay attention. Hit like, hit subscribe, stay sharp.